Gary's up. Let's welcome Gary. Hey. And are y'all hot in here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm like,
please.
all right, I'm gonna pass you this and then we're gonna turn the air on because.
Great to see everybody.
For y'all, that's just.
Lots of good energy in this room. I love it. For the next 4.5 hours. We're gonna speed learn on this. So let's talk about 19 things you have to do in your business to be successful. Let's just start out with a quote from Tony Robbins: "Success leaves clues. Go figure out what someone who is successful did and model it, improve it, and learn the steps. They have knowledge." And there's lots of people sitting in here right now that fit that. Number one, start day one with a database. Your database is your business plan. It is the key to your long-term success in real estate, is your database. Lead gen business and real estate business. Best way to build a database. What's the best way to build a database? Talk to people. Start, absolutely, Teresa, but talk to people and build your database. What are your goals for a database? You know how many people you need in your database if you want to hit your closing goal with just the people in your database. There's a way to find that out. Now, we don't have time today. If you guys want a deeper dive, we can do an expanded class and go into these. Be a service provider, not a salesperson. Anybody heard the term commission breath? You can smell it over the phone. It's not about you, it's about them. You treat your clients right and take care of them, and it will come. You got successful realtors have a servant's heart. They get as much joy out of helping people as they do cashing those commission checks. For real estate database, have one, communicate with it systematically, feed it daily, service all leads that come your way. And Sefco's going to be doing a class on follow-up. I go to that class every year, always learn something new. It's a great class. Don't miss that class. Number two, avoid shiny objects. Justin talked about that a while ago. We have a ton of resources that we are not using. I spent some time with Justin yesterday. I am so excited about the things that I can do to add to my website that I don't have to do. It's not a here's where you go and here's what you do. It's here's where you go, click on what you want, and the resource does it for us. Very excited about that. Everybody heard the myth: to earn business, I must spend money. After all, it takes money to make money, right? Wrong. Talk to people. That is your number one job as an agent, is to talk to people, and that will turn into relationships, and that will turn into business. It takes leads, and leads don't have to cost a lot. There's no shortcut to success. Real estate is a contact sport. Go get your jersey dirty. Contact in the sense that we have to make contacts with people in order to build those relationships, in order to get their business and their friends' business and their family's business and the people they work with, their business. That's how we're going to build a long-term success rate in this industry. Lead generate 2 to 3 hours every day. We won't go into a lot of detail on this. I know we talk about lead gen a lot. Don't let people bring you down. Don't let people tell you you can't be successful in real estate. Anybody can be successful in this business if they're willing to do the work.
Don't tell yourself that.
Necessary. Yes. Great ad, Bob. Don't tell yourself that. Avoid the real estate roller coaster. Sometimes we get a client, we get so excited, we just focus, all right, I'm gonna focus all my energy on getting this listing perfect and the perfect photos. And I'm gonna spend a couple of days doing the perfect listing description, and you drop your lead gen activity. Don't let that get in the way of your daily lead gen goal. If you must erase, you must replace. Yeah. All right. What do you think of when you hear accountability?
Responsibility.
Responsibility, that's a good one. Anybody else? Yeah, part of the nice thing about real estate, a lot of us get into real estate for the freedom and flexibility, right? We can set our own hours, we can come and go as we please. And the bad part about real estate is the freedom and the flexibility, right? Because if you're not here at 9 o'clock, nobody's calling and saying, hey, Scott, where are you at? It's time to lead generate. Nobody's doing that. So you need to have someone that can hold you accountable. You're the average of the top 5 people that you associate with. So who are the people that you're hanging out with and spending time with? Are they lifting you up and making you stronger? Or are they bringing you down, telling you, you can't do this? You don't know people here. You don't have money to spend on your business. Don't let people do that to you. The 2 evils in life are boredom and isolation. Don't sit at home waiting for business to drop into your lap. Things happen when you're out. We used to have a saying at my last sales job, my last corporate sales job, where nothing good happens in the office. Get out there and talk to people. So get out of your house and talk to people, or come here and talk to people. What are the people? You know, we run a list every week or month of people who got their first listing, had their first closing, people that hit $100,000 for the year, people that are millionaire real estate agents. Get in here, talk to these people, ask them, what are you doing? Buy them a cup of coffee. Number 5, man, I got a boogie. Define your standards and systems. People will treat you how you train them to treat you. If you don't have a policy on communication, your phone's gonna ring all times of the night if you let people do that to you. Now, we want to service our customers, and if we're in the middle of heated negotiations, of course, we may have to answer the phone at 9 o'clock at night. But that's a conversation you can have with your clients that people are gonna respect and also appreciate themselves, because they have families and other commitments as well. Number 6, create your MVP, and that's mission, vision, values, beliefs. That's Chris. Very good. Thanks for this. Why is that important? Because clarity equals power, gives you power, right? If you know exactly what you stand for, how you're going to do business, and the people you want to do business with, that gives you focus. Focus was my ALC word of the year that I'm concentrating on. I tend to have too many irons in the fire. And so I'm trying to focus on 2 or 3 irons because that's what's going to drive my success in my business. Use social media. I hate social media. But most of you in this room don't remember when I was young, and there was this thing called newspapers that would show up in your driveway every morning and every evening if you wanted. And that was, in every Sunday, there was an insert in the Sunday with all the listings in your area, right? Well, social media, Josh is looking at me like, what is he talking about?
It was made of paper.
Had news in it. So social media has replaced that. I'm not good at it. That's leverage I have to bring in my business to help me, because if I don't have somebody helping me, I'm not gonna do it because I don't like to do it.
You not being good at it is subjective, because you are good at it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But what story are you telling in your social media? And what kind of people are you attracting in your social media? There are topics that, while you may have your own beliefs, and that's to be respected, but that may not be, there may be content you don't want to put on social media or comment on social media. This is a business tool. You need to treat your social media as a business tool. So also be careful with social media. Know how to use it and know how not to use it. Don't fall into the trap. Are you guys a member of, there's a couple of Facebook groups that are, they're like real estate, not real estate agents, they're real estate agents. That one's got some pretty legit stuff on it. But there's some other ones where they ask a question and it basically turns into, well, I got my success through subscribing to Real Geeks or what. It's just an advertisement for lead gen systems, right? Or not lead gen systems, for crappy leads for you to buy. Number 8, go to training. That's why we come to Keller Williams, is for training. We are the #1 training company in real estate. And according to Training Magazine, we're always in the top 3 across all types of businesses for our training. We are known as a training company. Good is the enemy of great. Why settle for good when great is still available? Have you mastered a subject? Is there a subject you feel comfortable coming up here and teaching? Nobody? Nobody? Come on. Oh, thank you. There's at least, probably everyone in this room can come up here and teach something, right? You don't need a college education to be in real estate. I'm not sure it even helps. Looking back on my time and the things I've done in my work life, I wish I'd have come into real estate right out of high school. That's all that's required to get a sales license is a high school degree. And I am really jealous of you young folks that have jumped into real estate so early. You're going to be wildly successful in a short amount of time. But there is a difference between learning for learning's sake and learning for doing sake. And so come to training, find those few nuggets that you can take out of it and put in your business to help you be successful. Track your numbers. Bob is running the finance committee on the ALC this year, and he did last year too, I believe. That is important to know your metrics to help you stay on track. You have to know where you're going and you have to know where you've been. So tracking the activities that you do and knowing how many of those activities you need to do to get an appointment. How many appointments do I need to get to convert into a listing or buyer brokerage agreement? And how many agreements do I need to get a contract? Then how many contracts do I need to get a closing? So I can plan my business and I can plan my time if I am tracking all these numbers. We have conversations with the people that I work with about how many dials before you get a person on the phone. How many conversations before you get an appointment? Tracking your business at that level will help you be more efficient and also allow you to have that balanced life where you're not freaking out about, did I make enough calls today? Do I have time to be at my kid's soccer game? Wouldn't it be great if you had those numbers, you knew those numbers, you could plan your day, plan your week, and know you have the time to spend with your family or do the things that you want to do. Number 10, treat your business like a business. Do you have a business or do you have a hobby in real estate? There's a big difference, right? Is this what you're doing? Is it needed to put food on the table for your family or to pay for your kids' private school or to have a vacation for your family? What is it that's going to drive you to get up and do the things you need to do every day? Here's a good question. Jason Bonds brings this question up all the time. If you were hiring for your business, would you hire yourself? Some days I'm like, I did fire myself. Right? So that's a good question to help you reflect on what you're doing and how are you showing up? Are you showing up somebody that earns $100,000 per year if that's your goal? Do you know what your dollar per hour is? Do you know how many hours you spend on a listing or how many hours you spend with a buyer and which one's more profitable? Which one should be more profitable? Listing, right? They generally take less time. Don't be a Gary. Don't take one buyer client to see 72 houses. That's my record before they make an offer. And not just in one area, all over the state.
All of the old timers have done that, and we've all said,
Yes.
don't do that.
Don't do it.
Well, you can hardly do that anymore. You like, one goes on the market and you like, hurry, get in the car, run.
Well, that's true too. That's a good point too. Yeah, you don't have time to do that right now. All right, number 11, associate with like-minded people. So you are in a room with like-minded people right now. We all want to help people. We all want to build a business and be successful and hit those things and be able to do those things that were not going to be possible when we are stuck in a place where there was limited income potential. There is unlimited income potential, and there are people in this room that are living their best life and are making a boatload of money because they do the things they need to do in order to earn that. Nothing's given to you in this business. You gotta go out and earn it. Jason says we have to kill what we eat every day. That's kind of gory, right? It's kind of, but it's true. Two types of people, those who build you up, those who tear you down. Find someone who's done what you want to do and surround yourself with people like that. The 3 L's of real estate: leads, listings, and leverage. So you need to lead generate to get listings, because the listings bring the buyers. That's the leverage. Every listing should bring you a couple of buyers if you're working your listings correctly, if you're marketing it correctly, if you're doing open houses and meeting unrepresented buyers, if you're promoting that home and getting buyers off of social media who reach out to you because they want to see the property. Listings are the leverage that help you grow your business fast. And you have to lead generate in order to get the listings. You list to last, but don't wing it. If you have an appointment with a real client, that's not the time to practice. You need to be sharp. You need to know exactly what you're talking about. You need to know your objection handlers. Well, why should I list now? Bob, why should I list now? Isn't spring the hot market?
Spring is a hot market, but there's also less inventory right now, and this would be a great time to attract a lot more buyers.
Right? Listings are the drivers and the most time leveraged activity. I could do 10, 12 listings in the time I showed that one clown 72 property. No, it's Tim's actually.
Did they buy?
They did, and I've
Okay.
done 4
There
transactions.
you go.
So I'm very blessed to have them. They're great people. All right, master your scripts. How many people love to do script practice and role play and go talk about scripts? Julie does. There's your accountability partner right there for your scripts. We all hate that. We all of us, when we came in this business, like, oh, I don't want to sound like a telemarketer. I don't want to be one of those people. Our scripts, if you've read in the MREA, were developed by Gary Keller and Jay Papazan, interviewing the top agents in our business out of tens of thousands of agents. And from those interviews, they've developed these scripts. And when I have people in a class or when I'm coaching them tell me, I don't want to use these scripts, I say, well, then you don't want to be a successful agent, because this is what successful agents are saying to their clients in order to convert conversations into appointments and convert appointments into representation agreements. Learn the scripts as they are, plus scripts bring you confidence, because you know what to say if someone gives you an objection handling. You know how to present in order to win the listing. So memorize them, internalize them, and then customize them. People say scripts, well, I don't talk like that. That doesn't sound like me. Well, you're in a new business, you need a new language, or you need to refresh your business with some new language. Learn them as they are, internalize them, and then you can tweak them to make them sound more like you, if you choose to do so. Would it make sense to have responses to the top 5 objections that you can bet you're gonna hear when you go out on an appointment or you're working with a client? Ask better questions. You know, we have a lot of people come in here and talk about dive deep on the questions. Don't ask yes or no questions, ask open-ended questions. When they bring up a key point or a pain point, why is that important to you? Or why is that not important to you? Dive deep in your questions and learn about the people you're working with and learn about what is really important to them and what matters to them. All right, number 14. Oh, we're gonna get through it. Be the local economist of choice. What does that mean when you hear that?
Market.
Know your market.
Hot sheets.
Thank you. Was that it?
That was all, that was during the hot sheet.
Oh, I'm not a hot sheet, okay. Listen,
You are Gary.
know your market. Be that local economist of choice. There's a lot of information available to the public right now, right? You can go on Zillow and get your meaningless estimate, but they don't have access to this kind of information. They can't interpret what that means to the current market. They don't know that, what's the average days on market right now in the areas you work in?
36.
I need a hot sheet. To know that answer off the top of my head.
36.
Okay,
My one I did this morning was 36.
okay. So what does that say about the market right now?
Slow down.
It slowed down. It slowed way down from the early 2020s when we measured in hours.
That's actually a really good days on market right now.
Yeah,
That's moving quick.
it is, right? So what if I
That was in
have,
this one. hot shot.
what if I'm looking at comparables for a seller? And I've got a listing that's been on the market 117 days, or took 117 days to sell. What does it tell me about that listing?
There's some issue to price or condition.
Yeah, right.
Or
That's,
smell, and Zillow can tell you that.
Yes.
Zillow can tell you how it smells.
yeah. Maybe with Google Gemini someday, we'll be able to smell. Right now they can't. They stink, I'll tell you that. But, right now they can't smell. So learn these things about your market and be able to explain the impacts of that and define the market that your client is in. That's what's going to differentiate you. And that's value that you bring to your client that a lot of agents have trouble communicating. Why are you going to use me? What am I going to do for you and provide for you that you don't get when you go for sale by owner, or you don't get when you go with a broker that you pay $700, they put your house in the listing service and then walk away? Why should you pay me 3%? I need to be able to define my value and communicate my value. We talked about standards earlier, and don't waver. We earn our money. And when we reduce our commission, do we end up regretting it? 99 with 100 more nines behind it % of the time. We do, especially for family or friends. We really do. All right, so learn your market. Set goals. A goal that's not written down is merely a wish. It does not exist in this world. So if you write a goal down, you're more likely to hit it. If you say it out loud, you're more likely to hit it. If you tell it to somebody else, you're likely to hit it. Woodland, my goal is to get through this without tripping over my shoes. We'll see. I got like 5 minutes left.
That's the big goal.
I know. Stop being realistic and be reasonable. We become conditioned as adults by hearing the word no. You are never too old to set a new goal or dream a new dream. I started in retail real estate with a salesperson license when I was 47 years old. I took the pre-license class. There's another gentleman, Jim, I won't share your age unless you want to. Okay. Also started this business later in life. It's never too late to get started and have a new goal or a new dream. Oh, I was about to give the game away. So let's see.
Surprises, Gary, surprises.
And move on. All right, number 16, time blocking, it's critical. If I say yes to something, that means I say no to something else. What is it? Am I saying no to an existing client, a potential client, my family, my time? What am I saying no to if I say yes? Or the time block example, so family and vacation, these are just things that you need to figure out what's your commitment and what should be your number one commitment every day, or at least figure out how much lead gen time you need to do to hit the goal you have. And if it's 2 hours a day and you want to do 10 hours on Monday and knock it out for the week, that's great. If you want to do 8 hours on Tuesday and 2 hours on Wednesday and knock it out, that's great. You don't have to do it every day, but if you know your numbers and you figure out how much of it I need to do because I've tracked my numbers, I know my success rate, I know my conversion rate, I can set up my calendar to hit all of those things I want to do. Instead of walking around going, I know I'm supposed to be lead gen right now. It's 9 o'clock. I'm supposed to be lead gen to 11 and I'm not going to make it. And it's Thursday. So I'm just going to take tomorrow off and forget the whole thing. So know your numbers so you can customize your calendar to yourself and help you hit your goals.
Go back, that was
You
a
said
good
it by
one,
accident.
yeah, that's huge.
All right, live in abundance, not scarcity. Always begin with your mindset. I can do this. I'm licensed. I had to go through a god-awful 75-hour class and drink from a fire hose with so many things I never knew were involved in real estate. And then I had to go take a test with the state and get put in almost like a little prison cell for 4 hours and fight with a computer who wouldn't let me skip a question and come back to it. You are qualified to do these things. You have been given a license by the state of Georgia. You have been trained here by some of the best people in the business on how to be successful. There is no fear. You should have no fear. And don't allow that fear to make all of your decisions. You know what? It's okay to say to a client, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. That is a great question. But you know what I do know? I know who to talk to get the answer. I'm going to get the answer and I'm going to get back to you by 5 o'clock today. And as long as you make that commitment, you still have credibility with that client or that potential client. But if you make up an answer and it turns out to be wrong, that credibility is gone. It's going to be almost impossible to get back. We're not a product of our circumstances. We are a product of our decisions and actions. Too many realtors. Is there enough business for me? Is there? Absolutely. You cannot swing a dead cat without hitting a dozen realtors in our area. But none of them, or a lot of them outside of this organization, are not committed to learning the business, to setting up a plan to tackle the business, and then executing that plan to be successful. Am I right? Say yes.
Yes.
I like that. What's the guy's name?
Oh,
Gene Rivers.
Gene Rivers, yep.
Start using it. All right, number 18. Begin with the end in mind, avoid recreating the wheel. So when I got here 10 years ago, I thought, well, I can find a better way. I can recreate the wheel. And I spent 3 months trying to find a better way to do things. I read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. I'm like, wow, that's a really good book. I'm gonna find a better way. And then after 3 months of having no business, having no clients, I'm like, all right, you're not as good as you think you are. Just shut up, get those thoughts out of your mind, follow the plan in the book. And when I followed the plan, things started happening. Things started falling into place. The vision of your life was given to you for a reason. God wouldn't have given you that vision if he didn't also equip you with the tools to achieve it. And again, we just talked about that a little bit. You can do this job. A person without a dream has never had a dream come true. I don't care what that dream is. I don't care. Well, I'm never going to play in the NBA. I have to give up on that dream. Just because I'm old, not because I'm not talented. I'm not talented. I'm about as athletic as this clicker. Actually, this clicker is more athletic than me. Number 19, know your big why. What's going to get you out of bed each day? Your why should make you cry. How many people have kids, little kids? You want an accountability partner? Tell your kid, we have a successful year. If we hit this goal, if I close 12 transactions, we're going to Disney World. As soon as they walk in the door every day, how many calls did you make today? How many closings? That'll be your best accountability partner. But think about, why am I doing this? What is going to happen to my family if I hit this goal? If I'm a husband, can my wife now stay at home with the kids? If I change my business from a corporate job with limited income to a job with unlimited income, can I send my kids Can we move to a better school system, or can I send my kids to private school? Can we take a once in a lifetime vacation once a year instead of once in a lifetime? Can I save money to send them to college? Can I give more money to my church or give more money to charity? What impact is that gonna have on my life? And it's gotta be enough to get you out of bed each day. Right? Just, I'd like to pay off some bills. Is that gonna get you out of bed each day? And that's not really a plan either. I mean, you have to pay your bills, right? I mean, that comes with life, no matter what level you're at. Okay, logic makes people think, emotion makes people act. So think about that. Is that goal powerful enough to raise those emotions in you, to make you act, to make you do something that you're not comfortable doing right now? To go knock on a door, to pick up this phone, these phones. When we get these phones, they're so cool. And then we get into real estate and they weigh 500 pounds. We can barely pick them up and use them, right? We can't get them up to our ear to make a phone call, right? They weigh 500 pounds. But we manage to do it. We struggle to get it up and we make a call. And it goes, okay. Well, let me try another one. And we try another one, and we try another one. And slowly but surely that phone's getting lighter. It's like I'm calling, somebody I really want to talk to now. But you gotta you gotta make that first heavy lift and get it up there and call. And whether you're new to the business or you've been in the business 10 years, we all have days. We all have days where, oh, that phone weighs 500 pounds. Or I can't get out of the car to go knock on that door. Or I don't want to check in with my seller. The house is overpriced. He won't listen to me. He won't drop the price. We all fight with that, but we have got to keep going. We've got to have that big why that when it hits our mind, when we're having our own little pity party in our car in the parking lot before we get out, let's have it. Let's have that little 30-second pity party and then let's go to work and let's hit those goals and let's have that big why. Let's take those kids to Disney World. All right. Anybody got any questions? There is a bonus, number 20. You don't have a coach, get a coach. I can't imagine running my business without a coach or an accountability partner that's gonna hold me accountable and also is gonna be that person I can call. Let's talk through this. I got something I never run into before, or I've got a strategy I'm thinking about, or a new marketing direction I wanna go. Somebody to talk those things through with me and to coach me and make sure I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. Thank you for your time, everyone.
That's awesome.